Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and this is Elite Dangerous. Today I'm going to be doing some docking. I've noticed on the forums that a lot of people seem to be struggling with it, and that's completely understandable. But there's a few things you can do that should make it quite a lot easier for you.
Engines engaged.
Now, as usual, I'm using an Xbox 360 pad. For the most part, I'm using the default settings. I've got yours set on the right stick, from left and right, and on the up and down axis of the right stick, I've got the vertical thrusters set. Now, when I'm playing Elite, I tend to use the vertical thrusters nearly all the time. They're great for fine manoeuvring as well as large manoeuvres. And it's actually the vertical thrust that enables me to perform rapid docking manoeuvres. So right now I'm just heading away from the station so that I can orientate my ship in much the same way as it would be had I just arrived down a supercruise. I'm just going to do a quick docking run. I'll do this at my usual speed just to show you how it actually works, and then I'll do another run through at a slower pace and talk you through the process.
Flight assist on.
I don't know about you guys, but every time I come out of supercruise, I always have trouble figuring the axis the station is spinning on. Here we can see the back, I think, just coming round to us, so the entrance is round the other side. Now, even from this distance, I'll be using the vertical thrusters a lot. I've got my nose faced away from the station, and as I get closer to approach, I'll start tipping the ship up, start pitching up towards the station, and using downward vertical thrust. For me, I've found this to be the most efficient and rapid way to orientate the ship toward the dock. You can always see the dock, you've always got that in your view, and I can just roll my ship and constantly pitch down. And there's a famous bug from Dahan station as it twitches. I'm just lined up, flying through the entrance. I've also got landing override set, so when I deploy my landing gear, the ship switches from yaw and rudder control to lateral thrusters, and this makes it much easier to line up with the docking pad.
Avoid costly collisions.
So as soon as I've landed here, I'm going to head right back out and walk you through the docking process, this time a little bit slower.
Docking successful.
I think one of the biggest problems people have with docking is the bugs and lag. I've come in quite a few times to find the station lagging and twitching and glitching about as I try and approach the pad, and that can make for a frustrating process. So here we go with the second pass. I won't head out quite so far this time. You've already seen the approach to the station, and that can be a little bit long-winded. Right, just to clarify, with my landing gear up, I've got the standard controller settings. That's yaw mapped to the right stick and pitch mapped to the left stick. Pitch and roll. So for me the most important thing is to keep using the vertical thrusters for manoeuvring, and combine that with rolling. So I'll roll a bit to the right and thrust up, I'll roll a bit to the left and thrust up or down as the situation needs it. And already you can see I'm starting to align with the station even from this distance. As you approach the dock, you can see through the little gateway there the pillar right at the very back of the station, and if you've got that lined centrally with the entranceway, you can just see the struts there right in the middle of the little blue dock there. If they're in the centre, you always know that you're aligned with the dock. So some minor adjustments with the rudder, left and right, but I try not to really do that. That's mainly to just orientate my ship. The most important control is just to keep rolling left or right and thrust up or down. As the station turns, I'll roll the ship to keep aligned with it, and then I'll thrust up or down to keep aligned with the dock. I don't use yaw at all if I can help it. I just use that to try and point my ship in the right direction. And once in, I orientate my ship so that the docking pad's below me. I'll move down usually to keep out of the way of the gate and other ships entering. And once my landing gear's deployed, the overrides kick in and yaw is replaced by lateral thrusting. Yep. That's one thing to try and avoid. So I just keep the acceleration at a very low speed and just fine tune with the lateral thrusters. And come to a full stop and vertical thrust down to land. And for those of you that haven't had a look, if you go into the control options here and scroll down, you'll see the landing overrides, and these will kick in as soon as you deploy your landing gear. You can actually override any of the regular commands. The only one I've used is the lateral thrusting. Now there's one other thing that I forgot to show in the video here, and that is if you look at the right UI menu when inside your ship, on the last tab, functions, there's an option there that you can set your ship to automatically keep orientated with the station. I forget what it's called precisely, I'll add it in the notes below, but if you've got that switched off, you'll find the station will keep rotating around without you, but with it switched on, your ship will constantly align with the floor, and that's something that's very helpful. Well, I hope that's been at least some help. If you've liked the video, please subscribe, and I'll be back with some more Elite videos soon. This is Obsidian Ant, signing off.